Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to talk more X-Wing. Specifically, we're going to talk squad building for beginners. Now this is going to be a very brief video, mainly because a lot of you are, if you are new to the game, more than likely you don't have a lot of ships to mess around with right now. So I'm going to give you some very basic tips, and it's not going to take me long to go through them, so again, very quick video. The first thing I want to touch on is that, and I have them written down because I don't have a photographic memory. The first thing I want to touch on is that I would honestly pick pilots that either don't have an ability, again this is for beginners mind you, that don't have an ability or don't have an ability that will require you to be in range of someone else in order to make use of it. For example, Howl Runner is a TIE fighter, and the special ability of Howl Runner is that she allows other TIE fighters or other ships near her at range 1 to re-roll an attack die during the combat phase. This is absolutely fantastic for TIE swarms, but staying in formation with 5 or 6 ships can be extremely difficult. And for a beginner player, I don't recommend that. I recommend that you stick to ships that can act independently on their own, so that if they do get separated, you're not scratching your head going, well, how do I get these guys back in range? How do I do this? How do I do that? Don't worry about it. They're separate. They can do their own thing. Just focus on each ship as a separate entity and do it. So there's that. The second thing I want to touch on is when you are ready to start practicing flying ships in formation, again, start with ships that don't complement one another, so that if they do happen to separate, it's no big deal. For example, 2 X-Wings, or 2 or 3 X-Wings, like Wedge Antilles and, say, a rookie pilot, or what do I have written down here? Yeah, Wedge and Rookie. That's a 50-point game. Speaking of which, another tip for you. If you're going to start X-Wing as a new player or as a beginner, do a low squad point total. Don't go 150, 200 points right from the gate. Not a good idea. The more ships you add to the board or to the table, the more complicated things get, the more special abilities you have to remember. Keep it simple, keep it small, and 50 points is a good round number to use. So X-Wings, 2 X-Wings for example, a rookie pilot, Wedge Antilles, I believe both come with the base game, 50 points. And neither of them have any upgrades that you have to worry about. The only thing you have to remember is that Wedge Antilles has a special ability where he gets to reduce the defender's agility by 1 whenever he attacks. So that's all you have to remember. And should they get separated, you don't have anything to worry about. If you do want to practice getting some formation flying in that do revolve around abilities affecting other ships, do a small TIE swarm, not your 5 or 6 TIE fighter swarms, but I'm just talking 2 or 3 TIE fighters. I think I've written down here Howl Runner, Mauler Mythal, and Winged Gundark. That'll equal 50 points. Try and keep Howl Runner in the back, and try to keep the other 2 TIE fighters near Howl Runner. Practice doing that. Again, you don't need to go all out, create 100 ships on the battlefield and try to keep them all together. No, if you're a new player, keep it simple, keep it small, and practice trying to keep a few ships in formation. Preferably ones that are the same ship class, because they have the same maneuvers. If you've got a TIE fighter and a TIE interceptor have different maneuvers on their dials, so trying to get them to fly in formation when rounding a bend or trying to do a 1 hard turn. I think a TIE interceptor can do a 1 hard turn or a 2 hard turn or something like that, whereas the TIE fighter can't do that. So there are some maneuvers that these different ship classes can't make together, so that'll sort of mess up your formation. So try to keep, if you are going to practice flying in formation, keep the ship classes the same. 2 Y-Wings, 2 X-Wings, 2 TIE fighters, 2 TIE interceptors, so on and so forth. Try and stay away from Night Beast. At least from my chair is 3 years old and falling apart, so I apologize for the noise and the creakiness. But stay away from Night Beast, at least for right now, because Night Beast has an ability that is a little confusing. His ability, basically after executing a green maneuver, he gets to take a free action, but that can be confusing when he already has a stress token. When he already has a stress token, the check for stress maneuver, or the check for stress step of the activation occurs after the execute a maneuver. So whenever you execute a maneuver and you have a stress token, he will not be able to take that free action. after he removes the stress token later during that step or that phase, then he could take an action. I know it's a little confusing for beginners, but keep in the back of your mind that Night Beast has an ability that can be a little confusing. If you get it wrong, no big deal. If you're a beginner, you probably don't care anyway, and you're just there to have fun and watch the ships fly around and blow each other up. But keep in the back of your mind, Night Beast has an ability that requires a little bit of thought, and there's a little bit of involvement. Again, if you have stress on Night Beast, and even though you do a green maneuver to get rid of it, that free action occurs before that stress is removed. So you cannot take the free action, but you can take the standard action that you would normally get after executing a green maneuver and removing that one stress token. I already said 50 points or less. When building a squad, do a quick mental calculation on how much attack strength you have and how many hit points you have, because different ships have different hull values and shield values. Having 3 TIE interceptors at, say, 50 or 75 points, they only have 3 hull points apiece. So in total, you have 9 hit points for your entire squad. Whereas if you have a Tidarium shuttle, or not Tidarium shuttle, but a Lambda class shuttle, or the Slave 1 or the Millennium Falcon, they have way more shields and hull value. So depending on how you build your squad, you can end up with a bunch of glass cannons that can be easily be destroyed but are powerful, or you can end up with a bunch of tanks that can take a lot of hits. So you'll want to take that into consideration whenever you're building your squad. Okay, this is my squad now. What kind of game should I play? If I have a low amount of hit points, maybe I should focus on not being hit, do some fancy flying, come around the side, flank, that kind of thing. If you're a tank, you can afford to bring them up the middle. Like if your squad is full of B-wings, a lot of hit points, right up the middle, fine. But if you're in a bunch of TIE interceptors that can only take a few hits, try flanking them, that kind of thing. One more thing to show you. I need to get to you on the computer to do that, so stay tuned. Okay, now the last tip I have for you involves using digital means to help you build your squad. In this case, I highly recommend a website called xwingbuilder.co.uk. You can see the website in the upper left-hand corner there. It's an excellent, excellent website, and it's usually being updated to include any new ships that might be coming out or even haven't been released yet. For example, here's the main screen. You can choose a faction, Rebels, Empire, or even the Scum faction. They're not even out yet. So let's say I want to create a Rebel faction. And let's just say I want to create, say, an A-Wing, a B-Wing, and an E-Wing. You can see along the left-hand side all the different ship classes that are available and all the different pilots that are available for those ships. And then even when you get down to it and you look at these ships, you can see at a glance what their pilot skills are, what their attack, agility, hull, and shields are. And you can even click on these upgrades down here to see what you can equip them with. And that's really cool because when you're dealing with cards, you're constantly flipping through different upgrades. Okay, so I don't want that one, I want that one. Oh, here's one I might want. Now, can the ship handle it? You don't have to worry about that. Click on missile, for example, and you can look at all the different missiles at a glance. Concussion missiles, pick one, boom, you're done. Again, here's the B-Wing. Let's go ahead and choose, say, oh, I don't know this one. Or let's say we want to add a modification to our E-Wing. Very easy to do. There's hull upgrade. So yeah, this website will make it so easy for you to build squads and try out new things. Definitely worth it. Another thing it allows you to do, like I said, at a glance to see what your hit points are, and this ties back to the last tip I just gave you. Let's show you some examples. Let's say you're wanting to build a squad of A-Wings. Okay, you got 73 points. Let's make it an even number. Let's do 75. So I added a modification to this one down here. So at a glance, this particular squadron has 4 hit points, 2 shield, 2 hull, 2 shield, 2 hull, 2 shield. So that's a total of 4, 4, 4. That's 12. So this squad will be destroyed in 12 hit points. If this squad gets hit 12 times, this squad is dead. Now, keep that in the back of your mind. This is 75 points in the upper right-hand corner. You can see that. So let's go ahead and change that up a bit. Let's create a new squad. Let's do Blue Squadron. Let's do another Blue Squadron. That's a B-Wing. And we'll do an Outer Rim Smuggler. That's 71. And just to make that an even 75, let's add a sensor jammer to that B-Wing. Okay, so again, this is 75 points. Same point
cost or squad cost as the other one I just created, but look at the difference in hit points. This B-Wing has 8 3 hull 2 shield, or 3 hull 5 shield. This B-Wing 3 hull 5 shield, and this outer rim smuggler has 6 hull and 4 shield. That's a total of 8 at 16, another 10 is 26 points. So when you compare 26 hit points as a whole compared to 12, that is a huge difference. This squad can soak up so much more damage than that other one could. And that's what I was saying about wanting to figure out how much your squad can take, or how much punishment your squad can take, to determine what kind of tactics you're going to take. With this squad right here, you can afford to go up the middle and just, you know, pump out some damage while taking it. Those A-Wings, on the other hand, you're going to be wanting to do barrel rolls and the like, a lot of evades to try and reduce the amount of damage you take, or at least eliminate the possibility of being attacked at all, because you can't take a lot of hits. So yeah, long story short, getting back to my last tip, using these websites, again, xwingbuilder.co.uk, excellent website. This will help you build your squads and even test out a few in your head, or trying out different abilities to see what works and what doesn't, but without having to go through the cards and just putting grease all over them and messing them up and being frustrated trying to figure out and organize where everything is. This makes it so much easier. This is an easy recommend for new players. Again, xwingbuilder.co.uk.
Alright, and there you have it. Like I said, a very quick video designed for beginners, not for advanced players. Keep that in the back of your mind. There are a lot of other card combinations regarding squad building that I could suggest. Like, you know, whenever you get into the A-Wings, like if you do push the limit with Tycho Kelchu, who can ignore stress when it comes to taking actions. You know, a lot of different card combinations out there, but again, this is for beginners, so I'm not going to mention those. And more than likely, if you're new to the game, you don't have a lot of those expansions anyway. So maybe in the future, I'll go ahead and release like a more in-depth squad building for advanced players, something like that. For right now, hopefully this will help you out getting into the game and enjoying it. So with that being said, if you want to see more X-Wing videos or just more gameplay videos, let me know. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my official website, www.dadsgamingaddiction.com. This is Vince, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.